Hey cinephiles, as the curtains close on 2023, I've got one more ranked list of 10 new movies to watch, and the cinematic powers that be have saved some of the best for last, including both the feel-good and feel-bad movies of this holiday season, big festival darlings turned big awards contenders, and a pair of superb Japanese films that have taken the world by storm. Welcome back to my monthly series wherein I curate a list of 10 new movies to watch. While my selection is based on release dates in the United States, it should still serve any cinephile as a list of films to look out for. And stick around after my countdown to see what the Cineflick community voted as the movie they were most excited to see this month. Without further ado, let's start the countdown. Number 10. American Fiction. A novelist who's fed up with the establishment profiting from black entertainment uses a pen name to write a book that propels him to the heart of hypocrisy and the madness he claims to disdain. The great Jeffrey Wright, who frequently outshines his co-stars in supporting roles, takes the lead here and absolutely runs with it, giving one of the best performances of the year and of his career. This marks the directorial debut of Cord Jefferson, who has been making a name for himself in the writers' rooms of Master of None, The Good Place, and Watchmen, which explains the incisiveness of this rare and mature dramedy screenplay. Distributed by Amazon MGM Studios, American Fiction is now playing in select theaters.
Your books change people's lives.
Has something I've written never changed your life?
Absolutely. My dining room table was wobbly as hell
My God.
before your last book came out. It was like perfect.
Number 9. Ferrari. Set in the summer of 1957 with Enzo Ferrari's auto empire in crisis, the ex-racer turned entrepreneur pushes himself and his drivers to the edge as they launch into the Mille, a treacherous 1,000-mile race across Italy. The man is back, Michael Mann that is, the celebrated auteur behind the wheel of Manhunter, Heat, and Collateral, with a focused biopic about the name behind one of the world's most renowned luxury sports cars. And who better to put in the driver's seat than a driver? Adam Driver, that is, one of our most exciting actors to watch, who seems intent on working with every big-name director, and who's also gifted us with the best response to an insipid audience question this award season.
What do you think about crash scenes? That they look pretty harsh, drastic, and I must say, cheesy for me. What do you think about them?
Fuck you, I don't know. Next question.
Ferrari appropriately premiered at the Venice International Film Festival to a positive reception. Distributed by Neon, it is now speeding to a theater near you.
If you get into one of my cars, you get in the win.
Number 8. Wonka. With dreams of opening a shop in a city renowned for its chocolate, a young and poor Willy Wonka discovers that the industry is run by a cartel of greedy chocolatiers. Alright, time for me to eat some chocolate crow. When Timothée Chalamet first tweeted out the picture of him as young Wonka, I threw up a little in my mouth. And when the trailer dropped, I doubled down on my lack of appetite for an origin story to a beloved classic from my childhood. Well, my groans of despair have been replaced with moans of delight because Wonka is a real treat. It's a splendid production with an entertaining ensemble complete with multiple infectious musical numbers. It's an easy recommendation for something to bring the whole family to. Shame on me for ever doubting Mr. Paddington himself, Paul King. Distributed by Warner Brothers, Wonka is now playing everywhere. Number 7. Eileen. A woman's friendship with a new coworker at the prison facility where she works takes a sinister turn. This marks the second feature from director William Oldroyd after 2016's jaw-dropping Lady Macbeth, which not only launched Florence Pugh into stardom, but put an exciting new filmmaker on my radar. I caught Eileen back in January at this year's Sundance Film Festival, and I've been thinking about it all the year long. While this is certainly not something I'd recommend to most viewers, if you can stomach some perversity in the name of mysterious storytelling and exceptional acting from Thomasin McKenzie, Anne Hathaway, and Marin Ireland, look no further. Distributed by Neon, Eileen is now playing in select theaters.
I have my own ideas.
Kind ideas?
You can never tell anyone, do you understand? Promise me.
Okay.
Number 6. The Iron Claw. The true story of the inseparable Von Erich brothers who made history in the intensely competitive world of professional wrestling in the early 1980s. This marks the third feature from writer-director Sean Durkin, who has a perfect track record thus far after Martha, Marcy May Marlene and The Nest. Durkin summons terrific performances from his cast, which bodes well for this film's trio of stars, Zac Efron, Jeremy Allen White, and Harris Dickinson. This looks to dismantle the formulaic sports biographical drama and recently cracked the National Board of Review's top 10 films of 2023. Distributed by A24, The Iron Claw is now playing in theaters.
I just love being out there with you guys. It's the only thing that matters to me.
Sarabande will forever be the greatest family in the history of wrestling.
Number 5, All of Us Strangers. A screenwriter drawn back to his childhood home enters into a fledgling relationship with a mysterious neighbor as he then discovers his parents appear to be living just as they were on the day they died 30 years before. This is the latest film by writer-director Andrew Hay, the filmmaker of Weekend, 45 Years, and Lean on Pete. Andrew Scott, Paul Mescal, Jamie Bell, and Claire Foy star in this fantasy romance that has been getting rave reviews since its premiere at Telluride in late August. If Hay's track record is anything to go on, this will obliterate my emotions and cause me to rethink my ranking of the best films of the year. Distributed by Searchlight Pictures, All of Us Strangers is now playing in select theaters.
Our boys back home?
Our son. Look at you. You were just a boy. And now you're not.
Number 4, Poor Things. Brought back to life by an unorthodox scientist, a young woman runs off with a lawyer on a whirlwind adventure across the continents. This is the latest film from Yorgos Lanthimos, director of Dogtooth, The Lobster, and The Favorite, reteaming with the latter screenwriter Tony McNamara for an adaptation of Alistair Gray's 1992 novel. The very adult result feels like a marriage of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and Lars von Trier's Nymphomaniac. The film's striking presentation is only topped by its eclectic cast, including hilarious and career-best performances from both Emma Stone and Mark Ruffalo. Poor Things premiered at the Venice International Film Festival in September, where it won the Golden Lion, the festival's top prize. Distributed by Searchlight Pictures, it is now playing in theaters.
Oh.
Number 3, Godzilla -1. Post-war Japan is at its lowest point when a new crisis emerges in the form of a giant monster baptized in the horrific power of the atomic bomb. Godzilla -1 marks the 33rd film in Toho's flagship franchise and demonstrates how to breathe new life into even the world's longest-running film series. This is a human drama, first and foremost, exploring the cost of war and the will to survive before blowing the doors off with spectacular kaiju action. Not only does this put the recent Hollywood Godzilla movies to shame, and for a fraction of the budget, this is easily one of the best films I've seen all year long. Distributed by Toho, Godzilla -1 is rampaging through theaters. See it as big and as loud as you possibly can while you still can. And here's hoping the recently announced minus color version, which will open in Japan on January 12th, will also make its way to Western shores. Number 2, The Zone of Interest. The commandant of Auschwitz, Rudolf Höss, and his wife Hedwig strive to build a dream life for their family in a house and garden next to the camp. This vexing premise marks the long-awaited fourth feature from writer-director Jonathan Glazer, the filmmaker of Sexy Beast, Birth, and Under the Skin, who has spent the last decade preparing for this unenviable undertaking. There's no subject matter more harrowing than the Holocaust, and The Zone of Interest surveys it from a calculated distance, quite unlike anything we've seen before. The Zone of Interest premiered at the 2023 Cannes Film Festival, where it won the Grand Prix. Distributed by A24, it is now playing in select theaters. Number 1, The Boy and the Heron. A young boy named Mahito, yearning for his mother, ventures into a world shared by the living and the dead. There, death comes to an end, and life finds a new beginning. This marks the latest film from legendary Japanese animator Hayao Miyazaki, director of My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, and Howl's Moving Castle. It's been a decade since his last film, The Wind Rises, which I thought made for a perfect swan song. But that never-ending man proved retirement is not an option, and has spent the last 7 years toiling away on another sweeping and mystical adventure that grapples with mortality and what we leave behind. Distributed by G-Kids, The Boy and the Heron is now playing in theaters. I've seen the film twice now, both in its original Japanese and the English dub, and can fully recommend either, though I actually prefer the dub, including a wild performance from my boy Robert Pattinson as the titular foul-tempered fowl.
What exactly are you?
Your mother. She's awaiting your rescue. I'll be your guide.
And those are my picks for 10 new movies to watch. Over on the Cineflick community tab, I asked, what movie are you most excited to see in December? And The Boy and the Heron soared above the competition, as it should, with 48% of the vote. Have you seen any of these movies? Which ones are you most excited for? What films did I leave out? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you down there. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Cineflick for video essays, film lists, and more.
I got this!
And click that bell next to the subscribe button if you'd like to be notified anytime I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. For Cineflick, I'm JS Lewis. Until next time, watch something good.